Hello, fellow options trader. Let's take a moment to talk about dividends and how they can impact your options trade. First, remember that dividends are payments a company makes to share profits with its shareholders. When a payment is made, shareholders receive parts of the company's value, and then this reduces the overall value of the company. On the ex-dividend date, the stock price of the company will drop by the same amount as the dividend. Put it this way. Let's say you have an investing portfolio that's worth $5,000 and it's only composed of 100 shares of a $50 stock that pays a $1 quarterly dividend. When you receive that next dividend, you'll get $100 in cash. However, the stock price will drop to $49 on the ex-dividend date, meaning the total value of your shares will now be $4,900. Overall, your account's still worth the same $5,000, but now you have cash and stock. And by the way, if you want to receive the dividend, you have to buy it before the ex-dividend date. Now keep in mind, owning the call does not make you a shareholder, meaning you won't receive any dividends from your option positions. But you still need to know that dividends directly impact the price of your calls. When a stock goes ex-dividend, call options will get cheaper, while put options will become more expensive. This is because the expected drop in the price of the security, which reduces the intrinsic value by the same amount. If you hold any in-the-money calls through the ex-dividend date, you'll automatically lose value on those positions. Ouch, right? Well, to avoid any potential losses or to simply capture the dividend, consider exercising or selling a call option at least 1 day prior to the ex-dividend date. Dividend risk for option sellers refers to the likelihood of being assigned early by option holders seeking to capture the dividend payout. This can negatively affect your potential for profit, as you would need to fulfill your obligations that you've got as a writer. To assess dividend risk, you can compare the extrinsic value of your option to the amount of the upcoming dividend. If the extrinsic value is less than the amount of the upcoming dividend, you're at risk of early assignment before the ex-dividend date. A call owner will receive more money by exercising the call to buy the stock and receive the dividend versus selling the call. Let's work through an example. Suppose you're short a $50 call, trading at $5.25, and the underlying stock is expected to pay a dividend of 50 cents. With the stock currently trading at $55, the extrinsic value is just 25 cents. Without considering any fees or commissions, call owners will most likely exercise their call over selling it to help them maximize their return. This will result in you having a short position as well as have to pay the dividend. This example outlines the potential risk of selling uncovered calls. However, the same risk exists when you're short a call as part of a spread strategy. But if you're selling a covered call, you risk losing your shares due to the assignment before the ex-dividend date. This means you won't get the dividend income. Now, how can we tackle dividend risk? Well, to reduce the likelihood of being assigned early, consider closing your short position the day before the ex-dividend date if the extrinsic value is less than the dividend value. Another option is to roll out your contract by closing your short position and writing a new one with a later expiration date. The goal here is to have that extrinsic value of the new option be greater than the dividend value. Another option is to consider writing European-style options. Unlike American-style options, they can only be exercised at expiration. If you think that mitigating dividend risk using these tactics might be too difficult, you can avoid the risk altogether by writing calls only on stocks that don't pay dividends. Finally, if you want to find out key dividend information of a stock, such as the amount of the dividend or the ex-dividend date, head over to the Research tab in WebBroker and bring up the overview page. If no dividend information is available, it simply means the security does not pay a dividend. Now you're in the know about options and dividends. Happy trading! Have more questions? Check with the links to the right and in the description below.